Good morning, all. Welcome to today's class in grammar, or should I say, lexis and structure. We are still going to discuss on modal auxiliary verbs. We've learned auxiliaries can, could, and able to. We've learned auxiliary may and auxiliary might. That means we have taken part 1 and part 2. Today, modal auxiliary verbs part 3 is what we want to pay attention to, and we shall focus attention on shall, should, and ought to. Have you ever wondered when do I use shall, when do I use should? Some persons do make a confusion when it comes to the usage of shall and will. Which one goes with the first person? Which one goes with the third person? Well, our focus is on the use of shall, should, and ought to. When we talk about the positive inflection of shall, should, and ought to, we should not forget about the negativity. That is shall not, should not, and ought not. So let's start with shall. What do we use shall to accomplish in English as a modal auxiliary verb? We use shall to give a polite suggestion. When you want to give suggestion, you know what it means to give a suggestion? Excellent. Now, when you want to give suggestion, there is a particular rule we should not forget. We are making a suggestion when you are not quite sure of a positive answer. We also have the rule when you are sure of a positive answer. So we'll focus our attention first on when you are quite sure of a positive answer. When you know very well the answer is going to be positive, yes, agreed, then you can use shall to make such polite suggestion. Let's look at further rule on this. How do we employ them? We say the shall plus subject plus base form of the verb. This time around, we are saying shall comes first, then the base form of the verb in the sentence. Which means, is it going to be a statement or a question? Beautiful is a question suggestion. Look at the sentence example. Shall we go for a walk? Shall we go for a walk? You know very well that the person you are talking to is ready to go for a walk. That is why you have made the polite suggestion, because you are sure of the person's readiness to accompany you on the walk, as we have seen on the photo illustration. So when you want to make a polite suggestion, you could use the word shall. Shall we go now? Shall we start the discussion? You know that you and the person you are discussing with are already available for the discussion, and you are aware of the discussion. Shall we start the game now? You know very well the parties involved are ready, so you are making a polite suggestion. Unlike some others, I will tell you that shall cannot be used to give polite expression, but should. So what have you learned today? That we can use light. We can see polite suggestion using the auxiliary verb shall. Note, shall is only used with I or we. It is used instead of will only in formal English, formal expression. So do not forget that when you are making formal expression, we use shall with I or we, first person. So second person, third person, we use what? Will in the formal expression. So let's proceed. Should, the use of should. What do we use should to accomplish? We use should to offer assistance or polite suggestion. When we say polite suggestion or to render assistance, how do we accomplish this? Remember, I've used shall to show polite suggestion. Now, look at this rule. We say when you are not sure of a positive answer. When you are sure of a positive answer, you say, shall we start the game now? Shall we go for a walk? That's what we just learned. Now, when you are not sure of a positive answer, you use what? Should. You don't know whether the answer is going to be yes or is going to be no. Whether the answer is going to be agreed or disagreed. What do you now use? You use should to make such an assistance or polite suggestion. Here is a rule. Use should plus the subject and the base form of the verb. I want to thank those who always private chats or send messages to ask questions. It's very good. So let me emphasize this here. When we talk about the base form of the verb refer to the lexical verbs, not auxiliary verb. We have talked about auxiliary verbs, primary auxiliary verbs, and modal auxiliary verbs. Please search for this video on this channel. You will see all of them there. So we use should plus the subject plus the base form of the verb. An example, yes. Should I call a doctor? The person is afraid. The person that is making this suggestion doesn't know whether the answer is going to be yes or no. So his own is, with the telephone, but should I call the doctor? You see the possibility. So he's not sure whether the doctor should be called. And that's why he's asking, I can render assistance to this man, but should I call the doctor, sir? Waiting for response. We don't know whether the answer is yes or no. It's a polite suggestion to offer assistance too. Let's proceed. When I have should or shouldn't that can be interchanged, one positive, one negative, but this time around not for polite suggestion. We use it for a prediction or expectation that something will happen. We know how to predict. Is that also when you guess something will happen in the future, something that has not happened before? We make a prediction or expression expressing expectation. You should use should or shouldn't with the base form of the verb to show this prediction or expectation. So the example we have, the proposal should be finished on time. You can see that the man that is working is thinking it is possible. It is possible. I predict. You can see that it's a prediction, right? Possibility. It is possible that this proposal will be finished on time. Yes, I'm very sure. I expect it to be finished on time. I expect it not to delay. Let's look at the second example. I shouldn't be late. The train usually arrives on time. I shouldn't be late because the train usually arrives on time. You can see the expectation. I am not expected to be late since the train always comes on time. That is the word. So think of other ways you can apply this rule to express expectation or make a prediction of something that is yet to happen. Let's proceed. Should or ought to. How do we use this? We have a special use that we can use ought to or should as interchangeable elements. When you want to give advice, we have a special rule to employ these. We can either use should or ought to plus the base form of the verb. Let us look at this example. You should check that document before you send it out. A wife is advising the husband to check the document very well before it is sent out. In other words, you ought to check that document before you send it out. It's an advice, giving an advice, a very good one at that. Yes. Let's see the other one. You ought to have your car serviced before the winter. You ought to have your car serviced before the winter. So what have we been talking about? We have been talking about the use of should, shall, and ought to, and we have seen their uses. You feel free to pause the video anytime, rewind, skip backward, and listen again. You'll get the information given to you there, very plain. Should you want to know more about can, could, able to, may, might, please search for the video. Can, could, able to is part 1, A might is by 2, and shall, should, and ought to makes up part 3. So what we have is very simple. We will continue on should and ought to again to see what we use it for. Apart from giving advice, we have to give advice about something you think it is wrong or unacceptable. Unlike the previous one that gives positive advice. So we have shouldn't plus base form of the verb. Remember I said should or shouldn't, ought to or ought not to. So that's why here the example I'm going to give is what? Shouldn't. We have the some words. Shouldn't teach him words like those. Oh, mother, don't be offended. Samuel shouldn't teach him words like those. Samuel is not supposed to use those words. It's an advice. So you can see the principal telling the parents that you calm down, play low, okay, relax, or handle situations. Samuel shouldn't teach him words like those. The words are too uh, high. Should I use the word grandiloquent for the class? So you shouldn't teach him those words until the boy grows up. That is it. So feel free to skip, like I said earlier on, and walk through the channel.
I beg in the name of God, subscribe.
So if this is the first time, please endeavor to subscribe to our channel. It is free. Just click on the subscribe button and click the bell close to it so that you will get notification for our video anytime we publish. And don't forget, for those of you who always send mails or send WhatsApp messages, we love you all. Remember, our videos are meant for you. You tell us what you want. If you have a particular aspect in English you want us to produce a video on and to teach, let us know. We are here for one another. Until then, like my boss usually says, remain blessed and highly favored. It's your boy Joel.